What's up, it's your Fishing Boy back with another banger. Today I'll be talking about some lures that you can use in like small ponds near you, whatever, small lakes. These are some good baits I use for the springtime and moving forward. I'll show you all those lures I use. Yeah, so let's get right into it. The first topic I want to cover is when that ice is completely thawed. When I mean like thawed, I mean there's no ice on the top of the water, nothing like that, okay? I'm in Northern Illinois, so that's what happened in November. All the ice was thawed, and then the free throws again. So here's what I like to use on that day. I threw this jerkbait right here. This guy's pretty big. It's about, my hand's about 6 inches, or 7 inches. That's a 7-inch bait. But what I like to use is this, because all you do is twitch, pause, and this is a suspending jerkbait, which means it literally just drops down to the middle of the water column and just stays there. And I like that because you don't have to like move it down with when you're reeling. It just sits there, and then you don't have to do anything. You just twitch, and pause it. This will bring up all those lethargic fish that are actually like too tired and too like bugged out from the ice. They'll come up and smack that, and I've caught multiple spring fish on this. So yeah, that's one tip for that. But then if you're down south, let's say Texas or Florida, this is the bait you want to use. Put this in square bill though, don't use this bill. But this right here is a good bait because these fish are probably going to be in pre-spawn, and pre-spawn will push up all those bluegill, all like the Mayan cichlids you got up there. I don't know what you guys got down there, but this right here is a great bait to throw, just not on this bill. Just use a square bill. Yeah, like I was saying, all the little fish are gonna be pushed up because these bass are gonna be moving up, trying to make their beds to spawn. Okay, now after pre-spawn in the south usually goes up. So pre-spawn over here, over by me in Northern Illinois, lipless crankbait in red and black. I don't have a right color for this, but you know what I mean. Red and black. I'll show you what I mean by that. Red and black, like this right here. This is the color you want to throw on a lipless crankbait. This thing just sinks all the way to the bottom. Jig it up like that. Hop it on the bottom. Reel it right across. Depending on what you got. If you got rocks, I like to hop them over the rocks a little bit. If you got just plain open water, reel it. Hop it if you want. If you got weeds, I like to do this and then rip it. That's what my pond is. It's like just a bunch of weeds, and I like to rip it through those weeds. It like gets those fish attention, get the bite off the reaction. So what I mean is like when your lure's going like this and then you pull it, the fish will more likely bite when you pull it. And that's up north. Now, after pre-spawn, these fish are gonna spawn, which means they're gonna be pushing up farther up to shallow water, usually 2 feet. That's how I saw it, 2 feet. And then what you're gonna want to throw is like a bluegill bait or a crawfish lure, like this style bait, like this style color, but maybe a creature bait. Let me pull out one of those for you. What I mean by that, maybe a jig. A jig will work really good. You can hop it on the beds. Make sure it looks like something's feeding on the bass eggs, which will actually like trigger that bass because it thinks it's threatening them. So this is a really good bait. Also, and again, a lipless crankbait because it sinks and you can make it look like it's eating. Another bait I saw my friend use actually a chatterbait. I don't know. He like went right across the bed, and if your water's murky, for instance, this is a great bait. It's got the vibrating. It's a vibrating jig, so it's like this but vibrating. It does the exact same thing almost. It's got the skirt. It's got everything. So what you're gonna do with this, roll it right across the bed, it will trigger a bite. Now let's talk post-spawn. Post-spawn, water temperatures are rising. They're getting up to 70 degrees. These fish are still gonna be pushed up to shore, but the mommy fish are gonna be deeper in water. So what I like to throw if you want to catch the males, let me show you. Okay guys, so post-spawn for me is the time for topwater. Topwater is amazing, I love it, but here's the baits I throw. Little frog, I don't know about you, but ponds near me are very, very froggy. There's frogs everywhere, and when that grass reaches top, this is a good, I like the popping frogs instead of like, let's say like this kind of frog right here. You see that? I don't know, I like the more action with this guy. I got this in a Monster Bass box. Yeah, so this guy also is like dead bluegill skimming off through the water. Makes it really ballistic. It actually triggers a lot of bites, and especially because those fish are gonna be looking for those frogs now. And now they're up shallow, so it's really targeted. So cast along the bank when you're doing this. Cast along the bank, and then you'll catch some awesome topwater fish. So let's talk if the weather is windy. If the weather is windy, and if you, let's say you got clear water and there's bluegill in your pond, spinnerbait, and this one particularly is in a bluegill color. So this guy right here with the Colorado blades, spinnerbait, wind, I don't know what it is, but these things in wind go really well together. And another thing about wind pushes bass to structure, so make sure you fish in the wind actually and find the structure. That's where you want to fish. And I'm talking bank fishing. I'm not talking a boat. I don't own a boat. And most of you that don't own a boat and are watching this video, hopefully this is helpful to you guys. Yes. So another thing, if you guys got this in chartreuse, I do. Let me pull one out for you. Okay. Chartreuse spinnerbait, really good for murky water and windy. Also pretty good for rivers too if you want to fish that current. The wire's a little bent there. Caught multiple fish on this bait. But also, what is else for good for murky water is a chatterbait, because it's got that vibrator. That thing will just go crazy. That will trigger bites super fast. Alright, let's talk about soft plastics. One of the most amazing versatile baits I've ever used most of the time. Okay, so first things first. I've caught my fish on an underspin swim bait. This guy kind of resembles a bluegill slash shad, I guess. I don't know. I rigged it really weird. But an underspin is a blade at the bottom of like this. You can find them on Tackle Warehouse, any of those websites. Bass Pro sells them. But this is a very good pre-spawn sort of bait. It's really nice. You can roll it across the middle water column. It works really well for getting those awesome bites. Next thing is a shaky head. This guy is so, like, I mean, it's crazy how finicky fish can be. And this right here, right with a shaky head hook, it's got a screw, and of course the hook. You just screw this guy in, and that's your bait holder, bait keeper, and then you just kind of do this, and then that hook will be popping up a little bit, or you can make it weedless. But that right there is probably gonna catch you the most finicky of fish because of how just subtle it is. It just hops off the bottom, the tail sticks up. And make sure you guys do buy shaky head worms, because that's the only way, not the only way you can do with other worms, but that's what I recommend. This is a green watermelon flake, and really good for my water. It's relatively clear and some weeds, but this right here is a really nice bait. The bait I want to talk about is a craw. If you guys have ponds that have rocks in them, crawfish are more than likely to be in your pond, and bass love crawfish if I've ever known. So what I like to do, Texas rig them, just like this. Okay, this is crawfish a little too small for this, but I'm gonna try my best. Put the head of the lure through the hook, and then pull it all the way up to the tip of your, see this little bend right there? Put it all the way to the top, and then turn like that, and you're just gonna stick it in. This is not the right sized lure for this, but it should work anyway. Alright guys, that's as good as it's gonna get. Okay, not really straight, but it's the wrong size anyway, so it doesn't really matter right now. But you guys want that, and you're just gonna literally hop that off the bottom too. It looks like a craw. It's gonna look like a craw swimming away, getting scared. That's perfect bait for you guys catching bass with, if you guys got ponds that got rocks in them. Now my next lure, I'm pretty sure all of you have heard about it. It's the wacky rig. It's the wacky rig, and it catches some big fish. My buddy caught his PB, 5 pounds, 4 ounces I think it was, on a Senko wacky rig. So what wacky rig is I have a 1/0 octopus hook right here, and all you do is, you see that little smooth part of the worm? There's all these ridges, and then you got the smooth part. I like to put it to the left of that little thing, or make it in the middle. So I like to bend it actually. This will help you guys out a little bit more for the visuals. Bend your worm in half, make sure it's pretty even, and then you just put your hook in the middle of it, like this. And there you go, you got a wacky raid bait. Alright guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and hopefully these tips do help you catch some monster fish. And yeah, we're gonna get on the water soon. I'm hopefully getting on the water tomorrow, this video will probably come out maybe Monday. We'll see how fast I can edit this. But yeah, we'll see if we can't catch some fish at the 3 Oaks. So that's where we're going. See if I can't catch some fish. Let's get right to it and see you guys on the next one. Peace.